Andrea, what's so interesting about this event is that you're coming together with companies you compete with all the time. Why is that so significant?
It's because at this point we realize that there is no need to compete on currency and measurement. It's about setting a stage, a foundational stage, where we can all accurately set a bar to better ways when it comes to counting. This is not a competitive situation, and we're all just trying to figure it out together. So what I love about this time more than anything is, yes, we get to absolutely set new standards. We can look and say we can do things better when it comes to measurement and reporting, specifically for the JIC around our streaming environment. How do we marry it back to our linear environment? But we're not all trying to figure this out in a silo. We're doing this collaboratively across the industry, not just on the publisher side, but also on the buy side. And so I am so optimistic that if we can't get this right now, I mean, who can? Because you've got some of the best brains really actively looking to figure this out and not get it perfect from the start, but truly iterate over time.
How do you figure out getting the counting right when you're trying to go through an upfront market, where you're trying to also use some of this stuff? That's going to be challenging, I think.
Yeah, it's not easy, but here's the thing. We can do it now, or we can wait next year, but it's going to get done eventually, right? And we have done, especially at Warner Brothers Discovery, very rigorous evaluation, pressure testing of the new currencies, the optionality that is there, and not just saying, oh, you've got big data, because I think a lot of people have big data now. How are you thinking about harnessing that big data? How are you thinking about not just demographics, but ultimately advanced advertising and audience segments? How are you thinking thoughtfully about creating things frictionless so we can be interoperable in a way that's turnkey, not only on the publisher side, but ultimately for the buy side? And this is the time. So it's never going to be good timing, that's what they say, right? But we're excited because at least we're making movement forward, that this time next year we can look back and say, what can we do better? What did we do really well? Where do we think there's more opportunity? But if we don't start today, we're missing out.
And what does it look like from your brand partners side of things? Are they I imagine they're in all different places in terms of being ready for this kind of change.
I think that they are, yes, indeed. Everybody's at a different stage, but they're all leaned in. They're curious. They also want to have not just better counting metrics, but ultimately counting metrics that can help inform attribution models, right? This is about how are we thinking about targeting and optimizing, understanding our supply, how do you actually invest media and dollars into that supply, and then ultimately how do you get better outcomes? So I think from a brand perspective, they're asking a lot of good questions. And of course, everyone's a little bit scared, but that we wouldn't be human and normal if there wasn't a little bit of fear. But again, it goes back to the optimism that is here. The task at hand is for us to figure it out together.
Do you think ultimately we end up with a single currency once again, or is it always going to be a multi-currency kind of business going forward?
Oh God, no. Let us not go back to a world where we are constricted, because this is what happens when you just do any one thing, when you allow one partner to dictate all of it. We believe in optionality, fostering competition, evolving of products, making sure that innovation is happening. And innovation thrives best when there are multiple providers looking and saying, how can we do better? How can we do better? So I think that we are long gone from the days where there's one single currency.